Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. श्री श्री गौरीता की, श्री श्री राधवल्लभ भगवान की, श्री 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 जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रवाणी की, सीताराम की, शिल प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। Hare Krishna. So today we are inaugurating a new chapter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 11. And of course today is also an important day, which is Kamika Ekadashi. So Ekadashi is one of the very auspicious day to perform bhakti, to perform devotional service, to hear Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, to hear Leela of Lord Ramachandra, to hear Leela of Lord Krishna. Then of course also perform some austerity along with that. So as name indicates, Kamika Ekadashi. Kamika. So we have so many desires. And all those desires will be fulfilled. And if you perform, observe this Ekadashi. And so, of course, what do we do on this Ekadashi day? Obviously, so we meditate on lotus feet of Radha Vallabha, Lord Vishnu, Lord Ramachandra. Meditating on lotus feet doesn't mean you go and hold lotus feet all the time. Following their teachings, following their instructions, remembering their pastimes, Janma Karma Chame Divyam, so those transcendental appearance, transcendental activities, so remembering them, then holy name, chanting, of course remembering, means hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class is part of it. So these all are very important activities you can do, because of which you can get enormous merit, including sins of that we accumulated during last millions of lifetime, whatever sins we committed. It seems even if someone has killed a Brahmana, killed a woman, killed a child in the womb, abortion, forcefully, even those people will be, those sins will be removed. So that doesn't mean that we go and kill a Brahmana. So this is to inspire, to observe this Ekadashi that is so powerful. If you follow it, so you have all those benefits. Okay. So therefore, so please observe some of these activities we carry out on Ekadashi day. And if you can fast for the whole day, then of course it seems the door to Vaikuntha Loka is open for you. Yeah. So if you can't fast whole day, don't worry. So you can fast half day. So remaining half day, you do 24 rounds of chanting. 25 rounds of chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. Okay. So that may be another concession. Yeah. Or just by hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class, maybe you're already close to the door, and then Prabhupada will come and open the back door and you can enter in. So there are possibilities. So this is very important, Ekadashi, Kamikadashi. So not only material desire, and obviously this is meant to fulfill all your spiritual desires. Also protect you from any potential danger they may encounter in performing bhakti. So Kamika Ekadashi. So this Ekadashi recommended by Narada Muni to his recommended by Brahmaji to his son Narada Muni. Because Narada always wanted to know, so what is this significance of this Ekadashi, so that Narada Muni can inspire rest of the world in following it. So that is the Kamika Ekadashi today. Now, and of course, we are opening a very nice chapter, so which is chapter 11. So the title is Lord Ramachandra Rules the World. So we all hear about everyone's desire to live in Rama Raja. We want to live in the kingdom of Lord Rama. So how did Lord Rama rule his kingdom? So that is the chapter. So let us read this chapter introduction fully, then we will go to the verse number 1. So this chapter describes how Lord Ramachandra resided in Ayodhya with his younger brothers and performed various sacrifices. And of course, today is the being Ekadashi. We will be doing some sacrifice. Some of you maybe sacrifice can be just abstain from grains, just accepting only Ekadashi Prasada. Some of you may do half day fasting, some of you may do full day fasting. Then use that time for chanting, use that time for hearing Lord's glory. So Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, performed various sacrifices by which to worship himself, and at the end of the sacrifices, he gave land to the Hota, Advarya, Ugata and Brahma priest. He gave them the eastern, western, northern and southern directions respectively, and the balance he gave it to the Acharya. Lord Ramachandra's faith in the Brahmanas and the affection for his servants was observed by all the Brahmanas, who then offered their prayers to the Lord and returned whatever they had taken from him. They regarded the enlightenment given to them by the Lord within the core of their hearts as a sufficient contribution. Lord Ramachandra subsequently addressed himself like an ordinary person and began wandering within the capital to understand what impression that his citizen had of him. By chance, one night he heard a man talking to his wife, who had gone to another man's house. In the course of rebuking his wife, the man spoke suspiciously of the character of Sita Devi. The Lord immediately returned home, and fearing such rumors, he superficially decided to give up Sita Devi's company. Thus he banished Sita Devi, who was pregnant, to the shelter of Valmiki Muni, where she gave birth to twin sons named Lava and Kusha. In Ayodhya, Lakshmana begot two sons named Angada and Chitraketu. Bharat begot two sons named Taksha and Puskala, and Shatrugna begot two sons named Subahu and Srutasena. When Bharat went out to conquer various lands on the behalf of the Emperor Lord Ramachandra, he fought many millions of Gandharvas. By killing them in the fight, he acquired immense wealth, which he then brought home. Shatrugna killed a demon named Lavanya at Madhuvana and thus established the capital of Mathura. Meanwhile, Sita Devi placed her two sons in the care of Valmiki Muni and then entered into the earth. Upon hearing this, Lord Ramachandra was very much aggrieved, and thus he performed sacrifices for the 13,000 years. After describing the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra's disappearance and establishing that Lord appears for his pastimes only, Sukadeva Goswami ends this chapter by describing the results of hearing about the activities of Lord Ramachandra and describing how Lord protected his citizens and displayed affection for his brothers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so we'll read verse number 1 and discuss. Sri Sukha Vacha Bhagavan Atmana Atmanam Bhagavan Atmana Atmanam Rama Uttama Kalpakeha Rama Uttama Kalpakeha Sarvadeva Mayam Devam Sarvadeva Mayam Devam Ije Ata Acharavan Mukhe Ije Ata Acharavan Mukhe Sri Sukha Vacha Bhagavan Atmanam Atmanam Rama Uttama Kalpake Sarvadeva Mayam Devam Ije Ata Acharyan Mukhe Sri Sukha Vacha Bhagavan Atmana Atmanam Rama Uttama Kalpake Sarvadeva Mayam Devam Ije Ata Acharyavan Mukhe. Prabhus. Sri Sukha Vacha Bhagavan Atmanam Atmanam Rama Uttama Kalpake Sarvadevam Mayam Devam Ije Ata Acharyavan Mukhe. Sri Sukha Vacha Mataji. Sri Sukha Vacha Bhagavan Atmanam Atmanam Uttama Kalpake Sarvadevamayam Devam. Sri Sukavacha. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Atmana, by himself, Atmanam, himself, Ramaha, Lord Ramachandra, Uttama Kalpakeha, with very opulent paraphernalia, Sarvadeva Mayam, the heart and soul of all the demigods, Devam, the Supreme Lord Himself, Ije, worshipped, Atha, thus, Acharyavan, under the guidance of an Acharya, Mukeha, by performing sacrifices. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Sukadeva Goswami said, thereafter, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ramachandra, accepted an Acharya and performed sacrifices, yajna with opulent paraphernalia. Thus he himself worshipped himself, for he is the Supreme Lord of all demigods. Purport. Sarva Arhanam Achyuteja. If Achyuta, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is worshipped, then everyone is worshipped. As stated in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, chapter 31 verse 14, Yata taror mula nicharana taptayanti tat skanda bojapasakaha prano parhacha yatendriyanam tataiva sarvahanam achyuteja. As pouring water on the root of the tree nourishes the trunk, branches, twigs and leaves, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and limbs of the body. Worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead satisfies the demigods who are part of that Supreme Personality. Performing yajna involves worshipping the Supreme Lord. Here, the Supreme Lord worship the Supreme Lord. Therefore, it is said, Bhagavan Atmana Atmanam Teje Ije. The Lord worshipped himself by himself. That does not, of course, justify the Mayavadi philosophy, by which one thinks himself the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Jiva, the living entity, is always different from the Supreme Lord. The living entities, Vibhinna Amsya, never becomes one with the Lord. Although Mayavadi sometimes imitate the Lord's worship of himself. Lord Krishna meditated upon himself every morning as a grahastha, and similarly Lord Ramachandra performed yajnas to satisfy himself. But this does not mean that an ordinary living being should imitate the Lord by accepting the process of ahangraha upasana. Such unauthorized worship is not recommended herein. Om Ajnana Trimindasya Jnananjala Salakaya Chakshur Ilmitam Ena Tasme Sri Guruve Namaha Namavo Vishnupadaya Krishnapadaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamini Namaste Sursadevi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachata Desha Tarini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gauravakta Vanda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So this is the beautiful verse. about conduct of Lord Ramachandra. In the previous chapter, so beautifully we heard about narration of Lord's appearance along with brothers. Then we heard about his pastimes in Aranya, Vanavasa. Then of course how he became successful in killing the greatest demon of the day, Ravana, Srimad Ravana. So then of course after that he comes back to Ayodhya to assume his rightful position as the king of Ayodhya, king of Bharata. So that was all discussed very nicely. So now after becoming king, what did he do? So when we see here Sukadeva Goswami started thereafter. So thereafter means there is something behind, before this activity that was mentioned in this verse number 1. So Lord Ramachandra is exhibited ideal quality. So therefore, in the language that, in Karnataka they speak Kannada, so they say, Rama nadedante nade, Krishna nudidante nade. Rama nadedante nade. The way Lord Rama is conducted, so that way you also conduct. Nade means walk. The way Lord Rama has walked, you also walk. Walk means conduct here. Whereas you conduct the way Krishna has told you, but not imitate him. Don't conduct like Krishna. You conduct like what Krishna is telling you. What is Krishna is telling us? So he is explaining very beautifully in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, but don't conduct like Krishna. Oh, Krishna has danced with so many gopis, young girls. I will also dance with them. Don't do that. You follow, just conduct like Ramachandra, but you follow teachings of Krishna. Okay? Is it clear? Yeah. So, of course, in this today's world, people don't want to conduct like Ramachandra, but they want to imitate Krishna. But if you want to imitate, you have to imitate fully. So if you are so much powerful, then why don't you lift Govardhana hill? That they can't do. Yeah. So this is very important saying. So therefore, conducting ourselves the way Lord conducted is very important. And if you see, so he was an ideal disciple and ideal student. So those who are, in studying, as his kids and children, obviously you are engaged more of your time in, studies, education. Education, whether it is a material education or spiritual education, we have to follow the way Lord Ramachandra conducted. Lord Ramachandra, of course, they had a family priest, Vasistha, but he also became student of Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra, so even though Ramachandra was just young, he came and took both Lakshmana and Ramachandra with him to help him protect in conducting yajna. Of course, his goal was to also teach Lord Ramachandra on various skills necessary for, establishing dharma. The skills, ability to wield arrow, bow and arrow, when he faces opposition from all these Rakshasas. And those skills are taught by Vishwamitra. Of course, Lord, nobody has to teach him, he knows already, but also to demonstrate how we should be. So therefore, he accepted studentship. Even Krishna also accepted studentship. He became a disciple of Sandipani Muni. Correct? Showing us how, so as ideal person. So as we say, whatever example a great man sets, the rest of the population follows. This is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also. Yaddat archati sreshtas tat tat evetaro janaha. Jana, the people, common people follow whatever a great man, sets example. So if they also follow certain way, so if they lead a pure life, very likely that rest of the followers will also do that. We know that. Suppose if somebody is following some film star, they will also, if film star has some certain hairstyle, they will also follow that hairstyle. If they are wearing certain type of dress, they will wear that dress also. If they are wearing some loose pant, they will also wear a baggy pant. Correct? So they just imitate whatever they do. So therefore, it's very important to have an ideal personality like Ramachandra as a king, as student to demonstrating us how we should be. And of course, because he was a best student, so therefore he was able to win hand of Mother Sita. So it was Vishwamitra who took Ramachandra, Lord Ramachandra and Lakshmana to the kingdom of Janaka. So while conducting the Swayamvara at that time, it was the instruction or order of Guru that, oh Lord, oh Ramachandra, go and you lift the bow. So under his instruction, under his guidance, so he became successful. So that is how his student life is over. Then became Brahmacharya to Grahastha. The moment you marry a Sita Devi, become a Grahastha. Okay, so it's ideal. Then of course he was also ideal son. We know that when he was instructed to go for 14 years of Vanavasa, just before coronation. If it is today's time, if a old father tells you, go now renounce your kingdom and go, what do people do? They might even finish up the father also. But whereas here, Lord Ramachandra accepted instruction. Correct? So, he was also ideal husband. So as an ideal husband, what did he do? Protected Mother Sita. When Ravana abducted Mother Sita, so he went on to win the war of that Lanka, killing so many demons. So that is honoring the wife, honoring the dynasty. Correct? In your dynasty, if somebody did like that, so you can't leave them, so you have to kill them. Then of course he was also ideal master. If you want to have some master for you, so we better have a master like Lord Ramachandra. Say for example, so when he was successful in winning that war with Ravana, he didn't assume that position himself. Instead, he handed over to Vibhishana, who followed him so nicely. So therefore, Lord is not interested in assuming any position. He will give it to others. In Kurukshetra, he was the real player who made this Kurukshetra was successful. But he didn't assume that position. Instead, he handed over to Yudhishthira. So you can see his ideal master. So having a master like Lord Ramachandra is very, very important. Then, of course, he was ideal king. And in the previous verses, we heard so beautifully about how nicely. So he reared the kingdom. He ruled during Treta Yuga. But the life of citizens during that period was like Satya Yuga. Very religious. So everyone was completely happy by following Lord Ramachandra. Then not only people are happy, but of course for people to be happy, they need facility. The trees, mountains, islands, everyone was favorable. When the forest is favorable, land is favorable, so you will get, opulent fruits, nuts, everything very good. Water, clean water, pure water, and all the necessity of life are supplied to everybody very nicely without much endeavor. So the nature cooperated so well. Not only that, people were not at all any problem, no suffering from bodily situation, no disease. So no need of doctors, correct? So no disease, no COVID, no anxiety, no mental anxiety. Everyone was very happy. Not only that, no old age. So we say 4 problems of life: Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Jara, Vyadhi, old age, and Vyadhi, disease. These 2 are also not there. So this was the time. And of course, no one was lamenting for anything. No distress. So these are all very, very good qualities that existed. That means all the problems were absent during the reign. And of course, this is for those who want it. Someone, of course, don't want to live forever. They can leave the body. But this was the situation. So that was the ideal king. So you can see Lord Rama has exhibited all these ideal qualities. So that is why we say Rama nadadante nade. Conduct the way Rama has conducted. So ideal for everyone. Now, not only that, once you become a king, Lord Ramachandra also performed sacrifice and yajna. And this is the verse that talks about. So just because Lord Ramachandra want to set a role model for everyone. So if you are a king, if you are a person, an ideal householder, so you need to perform certain, sacrifices, yajna, tapo divyam. So the human life is meant for performing sacrifice, some austerity. So for achieving divya, for achieving the highest goal as a human life, because human life is very rare. So this was, of course, in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam everywhere, many times explained that this human life is so rare. Even in the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj, he talks about human life is so rare. So we should not waste it, just like cats and dogs. Prabhupada says, just like cats and hogs. Prabhupada uses often this word, muddas, cats and dogs, cats and hogs. We should not waste human life. Human life is so precious. It should be used for achieving highest goal of life. Therefore, some austerity necessary. And here Lord Ramachandra is also demonstrating us so how he performed tapas or yajna for the well-being of the family, for the well-being of the entire kingdom, for the well-being of the citizens. Sometime, in the temple also, on the first day of the English calendar year, January 1st, and also 31st December and January 1st. So the temple conducts yajna. Some of you might have participated, correct? Why? So this is for the well-being of the devotees. And behind, not only devotees, all the residents of Albert Park, so that they live peacefully, and let the devotees also live peacefully. So that you conduct your spiritual activity, and they conduct whatever they're doing. So then, of course, the well-being of the nation, well-being of the universe, so that hopefully everybody will become devotees one day, and that is the goal of Hare Krishna movement. So therefore, these yajnas are conducted. So now going through each of the words of this verse, Bhagavan Rama, correct? The first word of the first line, the first word of the second one, Bhagavan Rama. So of course, it starts with Bhagavan Atmana Atmanam Rama Uttama Kalpekya. So this Bhagavan Rama. So he performed what? So Mukheha. Mukheha means sacrifice or yajna here. So of course, why perform this sacrifice? So we know that in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam it is said, during Satyavaga. So what is the way of achieving Divyam? By meditating on Lord Vishnu's lotus feet. That was during Satyavaga. So like Kate Yad Dhyayato Vishnum. So during Satyavaga, Dhyayato. So meditate on Lord Vishnu. Then in Tretayam, Yajato Mukheha. So the word is coming again, Mukheha. There also. Tretayuga, Tretayam, Yajato Yajna Mukheha. So performing this yajna is the prescribed method for achieving Divyam. And furthermore, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam says, in Dwapara Yuga, Dwapare Paricharayam, that is performing worship of Supreme Lord, deities, opulent worship in the temple, just like opulent worship is happening here. So this is, when you enter your temple, you really feel like Dwapara Yuga, not a Kali Yuga. So in the temple, you are in Dwapara Yuga. So then of course in Kali Yuga, Kalo Tat Dari Kirtanat. So Kirtana, doing Kirtana in Kali Yuga. So which is what we have done before starting this class. Kirtana of Hare Krishna mantra, Kirtana of glorifying Krishna's Leela, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. So Yasoda Nandana is actually giving joy to Brajajana by performing his pastime. Sometime, Krishna is holding the tail of a cow, and the cow is running, and Krishna is simply rolling, on the ground and moving. So all the gopis from there upstairs were so happy and laughing. So imagine when a small baby calf comes, and then some of these kids, babies hold, and that cow is running around and carrying in the grass. So you can just imagine how sight is. Just close your eyes, so how nice it is. So this is not a theoretical. Even people in the village, they do. Even I have done it. Sometimes hold the tail and run. Then you fall down, then it will pull you. Suppose you, fortunately, if that gets into the water, very nice. So that will swim, and we'll also swim with that. Even if you don't know swimming, but it's okay. Cow is, of course, very good. But if you do the same thing with buffalo, be careful. Buffalo, it will run you and it will sink inside the water. Finished. But if you are on a cow, no problem. Cows are very kind. They don't do that. Even if you sit on buffalo, you will sink. If you don't know swimming, finished. But if you are on the cow or the calf, so no problem. So bull, so they take care of you. Anybody experienced? Yes, very good. So these are, so in Kali Yuga, Kirtana. So this is what explained. Therefore, Lord Ramachandra was in Treta Yuga. So he performed this yajna. So Lord also sets ideal, So he didn't went on doing Hare Krishna Kirtan during Treta Yuga. Nor he went on himself just performing austerity. No. So austerity like, meditating for thousands of years. He didn't do that. So he did what is prescribed for Treta Yuga. So he has to set that ideal example for everyone. So everything, that's why we say, conduct the way Lord conducted. Conduct the way Lord Ramachandra conducted. Whether you were a student, whether you were a grahastha, or you were a king, administrator, or businessman, or a son, or a daughter, whoever, conduct the way you conduct Ramachandra conducted. So they're the perfect example. That's why we call him as a Maryada Purusha. The previous verses also said about ideal husband. Not only protected Mother Sita, but he was also Ekapatni Vrata. So he accepted only one wife. That was yesterday it was discussed so much about that aspect. Even though kings used to have so many wives, but here Lord Ramachandra, to set ideal example for rest of the population, he accepted just only one wife. Otherwise, Lord Ramachandra can have so many consorts. He didn't do that. You can see. So all these teachings are very, very important for Kali Yuga. Okay. So that is Bhagavan. Then of course, performing this sacrifice yajna is also important. So as Lord Krishna says, so he himself, when the universe was created, so he sent, not just demigods and humans, but with them he also sent a sacrifice items as well. So that way, paraspara bhavante. So these, they involve in performing yajna. So by doing so, they satisfy each other. Satisfy the Lord, satisfy each other. So this way, demigod also will be happy with you and pleased with you, and then give rains timely, appropriate amount of sunlight, appropriate amount of air. So that way you can have peaceful life. So that's what Krishna says. So therefore, so Lord has, ensured that happens. Then when we see last word, Ije Ata Acharyavan Mukha. So Lord Ramachandra did not do yajna whimsically himself. Sometimes people do. They just conduct works, yajna themselves. They don't know one Vedic mantra properly, nor purity, but simply out of fancy, they conduct yajna and do it themselves only. I have seen some persons do that. But here Lord Ramachandra, he has appointed a Acharya. So he found the best Acharya that you can, identify. So under that Acharya's guidance, this yajna was performed. But of course, for performing this yajna, so you need ideal paraphernalia also. So for this, obviously you need a Brahmana. So who is Brahmana? Brahmana is one who is well versed in Vedas, has not only knowledge but also realization, a pure Brahmana, pure priest. So, and in the process he engaged everyone, all classes of people in the yajna. So when the yajna was happening, so it is not that only Lord Ramachandra and the priest. No, he invited various citizens, they all came, all classes of people, whether they are Vaishyas or other Kshatriyas, warriors, soldiers, then laborers, Sudras, everyone. So if you go to North India, Brahmanas like Pandits, then of course all the Kshatriyas called Thakur Sahibs, and Vaishyas like Sethjis, honoring them, Sethji. Then of course Chaudharijis, like labor, Sudra called Chaudharijis. So all of them were invited. So honorifically invited them. Oh, Mr. Chaudhary, please come. Oh, Mr. Sethji, please come. Oh, Mr. Thakur Sahib, please come. And of course, Pandits have already come. So Lord has performed this and invited everyone to worship. So you can see this is very good. Then for this yajna, Rama Uttama Kalpakeha. Uttama means best. Now I remember this word Uttama. So when our primary school, when we write so you every day you take one book and then write, the chapter content in the notebook and give it to the teacher. The teacher will give, grade. Okay, but if they give Uttama, means the best. So Uttama means, so it is very beautiful handwriting, very carefully written, plus of course the message that you written in the notebook also will be good. And it was a requirement. The moment teacher comes, you should everybody puts a notebook. These days they are not doing. These days they all want to use iPad. So no, they don't want to write anything by handbook. Yeah. Or maybe here in Australia they they draw a picture. If you draw a nice picture and present to a teacher is very happy. If you go to prep school also, they are very happy. That's why they are teaching most of the time. So Uttama Kalpakeha. So the best paraphernalia, item necessary for yajna was procured. So you can't simply say, hey, priest, you come with all the yajna paraphernalia also. That's what we do these days. Correct? If you want to conduct a yajna, so it is likely that we tell Pujariji, Gangeswar or whoever is doing, so kindly come with paraphernalia also. But whereas here Lord Ramachandra has organized the best ghee available at that time, then of course not only ghee, you need flowers, you need fruits, dry fruits, wet fruits, of course milk products, and then karpur, wood, so many things we needed. Cloth, also gold coins. As the yajna is performing, or before, or some panditjis are maybe due to Hare they are leaving, that time take some gold coins, 100 gold coins and give to them. So everything ready. So all the paraphernalia items are there. So then he says, Sarva Deva Mayam Devam. Sarva Deva Mayam Devam. So this Lord, is the Lord of all the Devas. So he is the Lord of all the Devas. He is the Deva Deva Jagannatha. So there is also one nice verse in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam later in Canto 10. Deva Deva Jagannatha. So he is the Deva of all the Devas. So here the sacrifice performed by Lord, for Supreme Person of Godhead, because he is the Supreme Lord. So here translation, Prabhupada says Deva Deva Mayam Devam. Deva Deva Mayam, that is the heart and soul of all demigods. And Devam, that is Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord is heart and soul of all the demigods. So we have so many devatas, millions and millions of devatas to conduct, to administer this universe, and he is the heart and soul of all of them. Without Lord they can't exist. And of course not only devas, we also can't exist without Lord. So Lord is kindly inside our heart. Because of him we are still breathing, we are speaking, we are sitting still, we can hear, we can see, we can even drink the water. It's all because of Krishna. If we don't have ability, can we drink water? If you are in difficulty, that time, they insert something into your nose and if you put water, put the food through your nose. Correct? So that means the tongue should be working, the mouth should be working. So if that is not working, then we need help of doctor who just came. So who can insert into your nose and feed the glucose, feed the food into through nose. So you can see this is so all these abilities. Then so such a Lord conducted this, not just to please himself, but also to please the devas. So for the well-being of the other citizens of that country, so their senses were very satisfied. Then this is very important. Atmana Atmanam. Atmana Atmanam. So here Atmana, which is by himself, Atmanam, himself. That is, Lord has conducted this, Lord has performed the worship himself, because he is the supreme Lord of all the demigods. So as Krishna says, so Krishna has sent paraphernalia, yajna, all the items, and he wanted all these humans and demigods, paraspara bhavante, so cooperatively working together. So perform the yajna for Supreme Lord. So sometime you may perform yajna for a specific devotee, specific demigod also. Very common. You might conduct Ganapati Homa, you might conduct Durga Devi Homa, or you might conduct Shiva Homa, or you might conduct Varuna Homa. People do also. The highest of is just perform Homa of Supreme Lord. So as Prabhupada in purport very nicely explained, that Sarva Hanam Achyuteya Teja. So that is, if Lord Achyuta is satisfied, everybody is satisfied. The demigods are satisfied, humans are satisfied, other living entities, beings like animals, fish, dog, all of them are satisfied. Even the mouse is satisfied. Sometimes you have mouse at home. If you don't have mouse at home, you can go in paraphernalia, you can find. Anybody has seen mouse in the paraphernalia? Yeah, so that means you are not going often. Maybe you have to go carefully. If you go, duck, 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 they will run away. Go very carefully, they will find mouse. So that is why they say, please don't keep those flowers, garland open. Otherwise they will come and eat garland, or so you will be feeding the mouse. So don't let prasada fall down. That's why it is restricted not to eat prasada in the paraphernalia room. Now while taking something may fall down. So that become a food for mouse. And of course, if they eat, they will become Vaikuntavasi soon. So that's what happens. Now here, so Sarva Hanam Achyuteja. So in the purport, that Śrīmad Bhāgavatam verse says, we all know that when we pour a water to the root, it nourishes the trunk, leaves, flowers, and the fruits also. This is very explained. Of course, ourselves. So when you put food to the stomach, so that's what the verse says. So it nourishes also. But most importantly, so because Lord has worshipped himself, so people say, hey, why don't we also do ourselves? Maybe that imitation we can't do. So there, Lord Ramachandra didn't put his own murti. He actually performed yajna. So because we know that Lord Ramachandra is Supreme Personality of Godhead, we are interpreting that way. Sukadeva Goswami, that's why he's saying that actually Lord performed yajna of Vishnu, that means himself. So therefore we can't imitate. Prabhupada is talking about Mayavadis. So Mayavadis want to imitate this. So this method, why don't we just perform ourselves, this puja. So, but that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, forbid us to hear Mayavadi philosophy. Advaita. They say, there is no soul or super soul. Ultimately they are one. So when you realize your divinity, you become a god. So that is what we say, Jnanis who want to merge into impersonal Brahman. Why? So you become one with impersonal Brahman, then you become God. So because of this philosophy, Maya Devi, you say they are called as Mayavadis, those who are promoting Maya philosophy. So therefore Maya Devi, this Durga Devi, she says, you are not really understanding teaching of Krishna and you want to be God, so be it. Okay, you become a God. So this way Mayavadi is cheating them. Correct? Mayavadi is cheating. But if you take shelter of Lord Bhagavan, Brahmeti Parameti Bhagavaniti Shabdate. So instead of taking shelter of impersonal Brahman, where you think I am going to become God. And Prabhupada was very hard on this Mayavadi philosophy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very hard on Mayavadi philosophy. Because, so this Mayavadi philosophy will destroy whatever little bhakti you developed. There is no spirituality. They say, oh, it's all wired. So it is just no variety, no enjoyment, no bliss. So if there is no bliss, what people do? In the material conception, they'll, instead of going to temple, they go to cinema. Correct? They need enjoyment. So, human is a joyful, Satchidananda. So we always need bliss. And for this bliss, where do we go? If they say, everything is mithya, Jagat Satya, Brahma Satya, Jagat Mithya. Jagat is Mithya. So we can't do anything here, no enjoyment. Then only too much of austerity. So people can't do this. So therefore, they need to be engaged in this yajna. They need to be engaged in the bhakti path. Bhakti path is full of joy, joyfully performed. Krishna says, bhakti is something you can perform joyfully. So if there is no joy, they can't do. So that is why this philosophy of Mayavadi is very, very danger, and there is no, joy in it. So that is one of the reasons why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Mayavada bhasha sunile, haya sarvanasya. If you hear Mayavadi bhasha, what happens? Sarvanasya. Sarvanasya means even if you have a little bit of creeper of bhakti growing, even that is also get destroyed. This is like a mad elephant. So with great care you have set up a garden. You establish a garden. As a gardener, you're taking care so nicely. When the mad elephant comes, what does it do? Within few seconds, it will destroy everything. So mad elephant can come with its heavy feet. It can put its leg on all the creepers, gone. Or if the creeper is growing a little bit up, with its nose, it will hold it and throw it away. Just like Airavata, that elephant of Indra did. What did Indra elephant do? When Durvasa Muni presented a garland which never fades. So this garland, if I wear like this 1 month, what happens? Yeah, so it's all, it'll fade away, then it may start smelling badly. Correct? Whereas the garland that Durvasa Muni got from one of the Apsara was like, never fades and so much aromatic. So out of reverence for this Indra, because Indra was the king of heavenly planet, so out of reverence he removed his garland and gave it to Indra. What did Indra do? Indra just took it and put it on like this. Sometime, without wearing, we put it here. Put it like this on the trunk, on this elephant. So elephant, so it took its nose and smelled. It got intoxicated. Intoxicated and somehow senselessly just took it and thrown on just throw it away. So consequences are, so Indra has to lose his opulence and power and all that happened. So that is what happened. So therefore it is very important for us to not to become a Mayavadi philosophy follower. So it is very important that we follow teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, teachings of Lord Krishna, and understand Bhagavad Gita as it is. Very important. So that is why Prabhupada, when he wrote this Bhagavad Gita, he said, there are hundreds of Bhagavad Gita, but why do we need new one? We need one because most of the Bhagavad Gitas were written by scholars with Mayavada philosophy. You might have, you hear some, even when I also heard. So when they start lecture on Bhagavad Gita, initially it looks very good, very nice. Slowly, as you start going deeper, then they will start saying, by hearing this, you will become realized and you will become Lord. Then you merge with the Lord. So then you become a God. That's a philosophy. Yeah, you end up with, so therefore whatever little bhakti one developed by this tapas, that is also gone. So Prabhupada is warning about that. So to conclude, you can see Lord Ramachandra was ideal, not only ideal disciple, ideal student, but also ideal king. And as a king, it is duty to make sure that the whole kingdom flourishes. And to make that happen, so he performed this yajna. So where he performed this yajna with the best paraphernalia, and also he identified a suitable guru, Acharya. So Acharya is needed. So Acharya also under the guidance of that Acharya, this yajna was performed. And of course later verses talks about how he distributed the benefits of this yajna. Not only yajna, he also distributed whole kingdom. He would divide into multiple parts and then distribute to all the brahmanas. Then of course brahmanas are not like today's brahmana. Okay, take it and run away. No. They said, oh Lord, so you are the one who is guiding us in our heart. You take it back. So they give him back. Otherwise, he would be kingdomless. Of course, Lord Ramachandra is not worried about that. So if the good brahmanas can rule by appointing somebody else, that's okay. So, but you can see here, so Lord has demonstrated that how to conduct yajna, and also when you conduct yajna, how to also dakshana, how to give dakshana to the priest. So the brahmanas are depending on others for their life. Of course, they are not greedy, so you can demonstrate it here. So they just need enough for their survival, and the rest of the time they use it for enlightening others, and guiding others, and teaching them Vedic philosophy, teaching them Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, and enlightening them with the divinity. So this way, their mind become always divine consciousness. Their mind become Krishna consciousness. Their mind become Lord Rama consciousness. So when they have such a consciousness, what happens, Prabhu? Their intelligence becomes spiritual. Everybody has intelligence. Even the mouse has intelligence. Correct? You just go in front of mouse. You try to turn left, also try to turn left. You jump right, he'll jump right also. So it says confusing me. Whether this person want to go left or right, I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, everyone has. Even the ant has intelligence. You try to put some obstruction, it will go other way. How does it do? It has intelligence that something is blocking. So therefore it has to leave that place. So our intelligence become spiritual because of that divinity. And when you have such a divine intelligence, what happens? Our mind will be steady. Otherwise, mind is a monkey mind. So it demands so many things, which we can't satisfy. So therefore, mind has to be steady. And your mind is steady, you will be peaceful. See, when we are not in peaceful, because our mind is, not steady at all, anxiety. But if mind is steady, you will be peaceful. When we are peaceful, we will be happy. Correct? So therefore, the foundation of this happiness is the consciousness, which is divine. So that is why Prabhupada says, Krishna conscious. Because Krishna is the highest divinity. So if you are conscious of highest divinity, obviously you will be happy and peaceful even in this world, and this will be heaven, this will be a Vaikuntha Loka. Then, as I said, so we need to follow we need to conduct the way Lord Rama has conducted. And yes, therefore, as a Grastha, you can perform yajna too. So, Kali Yuga, if you can't perform yajna like Lord Ramachandra, because it's too difficult these days, therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has made it simple. Just do Sankirtana yajna. Just chant Hare Krishna mantra. Instead of chanting yourself, invite all your friends and everyone, perform the kirtan, then give them prasada. Joyfully accept. Everybody will be very pleased to accept or honor their prasada. So these are the simple ideal set to us by Lord themselves, by Krishna, for Lord Ramachandra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted holy name. You can say, oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also did like Ramachandra. Ramachandra did yajna, that is worship himself. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu simply remember his own name. No, he came in the garb of devotee to teach us what is devotee means in Kali Yuga. So because in Kali Yuga is so difficult, full of faults, nidhi, kalo, dosha, the nidhi is full of fault. But there is one guna. What is the guna? Simply by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, you can achieve the same success that Lord Ramachandra achieved by doing yajna in Treta Yuga. Correct? That is what we are discussing. So with that, let me stop here. So thank you. So before that, let me answer this question, very important question. So she would have asked here. So she said, Prabhu, you said that how Lord Ramachandra shows perfect example and we should follow how he acted. But in a few pastimes, so in few pastimes like killing and also that cutting Surpanaka's nose, was there an influence of Yamaraj in... but there is in Ramalila. Okay, so of course, he's talking about. So Ramachandra, his brother, cut Surpanaka's nose. Should we also do the same thing? That's what he's asking. Yes. So if you come across a demon, who is troubling everybody, and obviously if you're a powerful person, you may have to do that also. But there, so why did they cut the nose of Surpanaka? Because Surpanaka was, initially she went with the view of potentially marrying Lord Ramachandra, but he refused her, rejected proposal. Then Ramachandra, pointed to Lakshmana. Lakshmana also rejected. Then she felt her problem is Sita. So when Surpanaka tries to kill Mother Sita, what is the duty of Lakshmana? Lakshmana came to protect, serve Ramachandra and Sita Devi. So at that time, so he tried to defend. He took a sword and tried to defend. In the process, when he so at that time the nose was cut. Correct? So yes, so one has to defend when others are attacking. Especially demons are attacking with the intention of killing. So at that time, obviously, conduct is necessary. Because the appearance of Lord is to paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya duskrutara. So all those duskrutas, like all these Rakshasas and Rakshasis, need to be killed to protect devotees. There are thousands of Rishi Munis who are performing tapas in the Dandakaranya. And all these demons are giving so much of problem. So end up giving problem to trying to trouble this Mother Sita. At that time, obviously, this is a start. In fact, whole Ramayana, this killing of Ravana, the starting seed is, this is the first one. When the Surpanaka tried to do that and cut the nose, then after that, rest started. The war with all the 14,000 Rakshasas happened. Lord has killed all of them. Then, of course, finally, the war directly with Ravana and his direct army in the Lanka, even they were also finished. So yes, so to establish dharma, if it is necessary, we have to do it. Suppose you join an Australian army, obviously if somebody is attacking Australia, it is your duty to fight and kill them. But if you are not in Australian army, just a simple citizen, you can't simply kill anybody. Correct? So if you become an army man, and when the enemies are attacking, under the direction of the government, under the direction of king like Ramachandra, you must kill enemy. And you will be honored with medals, Veera Chakra, some special medals, multiple medals. You can have 20 medals here. Correct? If you go on Anzac Day, festival in Melbourne, so some come with so many medals because of their heroic deed, killing enemy. But the same people, if they kill some citizens on the road, what happens? They will be put into Victorian jail. Correct? So here, Lord Ramachandra, that's why we have to conduct the way Lord Ramachandra conducted. If we have to kill, if you are an army man, if you are protecting the country, protecting the others, and they are demon, they are doing trouble, yes, you can. So that is acceptable. So therefore, this is also conducting the way Lord Ramachandra conducted. Okay? Alright, so 10 minutes is there. So Prabhu, you want to say something?
I want to ask you, what is Krishna consciousness? How do you define
Yes.
Krishna consciousness? How would you define Krishna consciousness?
How to?
Krishna consciousness.
Yes.
How do you define?
Yeah, so as we discussed thoroughly, so conducting, of course, like Krishna also conducted very beautifully with his elders, So he protected them too. Then he protected the lineage of his guru also. When some demons took away Sandipani's sons, so he protected. So both Ramachandra and Krishna have always protected the sadhus. And then they also killed Duskrutas. So these are very nicely explained, and there are conduct. Before you came, we discussed about, we need to Rama nadadante nade, means conduct the way Rama is conducted. Then Krishna nudidante nade, nudi means the way Krishna has told. In Bhagavad Gita, you follow the Gita, but don't act like Krishna, because Krishna may have danced with thousands of gopis, but we can't imitate that. Correct? So therefore we have to conduct like Rama, then follow teachings of Krishna. So it's very, very important. The ideal example. So Lord Ramachandra sets as a son, as a disciple, as student, as husband, as grahastha, as king. So everything is ideal. So that is why we call him Maryada Purusha. Simply by following Lord Ramachandra. It is very important in Kali Yuga especially. Yeah. So he, in the Dwapara, in the Treta Yuga, he was the Ekapati, Patnivarta. Whereas same thing we have to do, just like you. Correct? So just like generally everybody who is truly following. So it's very, very important for the peace and harmony of this society. Otherwise, anarchy. Okay, so with that, let me stop here. And as we started with, today is a Kamika Ekadashi. So you can perform, observe Ekadashi vows, Ekadati observe. So by fasting fully or fasting partially, or if you can't fast, no problem, chant, use that time for chanting holy name. And then of course the effect of the chanting. So just chanting one round is probably equivalent of thousands of rounds on other days. So your desire, Kamika, Kama, our desire is Kamika Ekadashi. All the desires will be fulfilled. So whether they are material desire, of course material desire that can lead to spirituality is better. You say, I'm facing this problem, let this problem be solved so that I can peacefully perform bhakti. If that is your desire, Krishna will fulfill. So this is the Ekadashi comes once in a year. So please observe it and make your life successful. Hare Krishna. Thanks for appearing.
Very nice.
The right time.
Very nice. Have you decided when you